Welcome back to Half-Life. Please keep all hands, feet, and whatever else inside of the tram at all times.
Nice.
We're back in Black Mesa, baby!
What a wonderful way to end out the second game.
Yep.
No notes. I have nothing bad to say about this one.
Honestly, this was a reference that was lost on me in when I first played the game, obviously, because I played this before I played Half-Life 1. But
Man, even I played Half-Life 1 first. What a loser.
no, I played Half-Life 2 when it was on Orange Box in like 2007 or whatever. So
I played Half-Life 1 on my shitty laptop using a trackpad for aiming.
But when? When did you do this?
It's like 11. So like 2011, 2012.
Yeah, so I'm first. Fuck you. Listen, I would have had these games on my fucking Xbox if my parents let me get anything cool for my Xbox.
I want to say I got the orange box when it was like 15 or 16. I found it at a flea market.
Orange Box
So
is
for 60.
a crazy good collection. Like,
It is, and I got it for $5.
yeah. That's a good deal. That is a steal. Well, nowadays they
That's
have
about
like
how much. It costs even less on Steam now, but that was for
Yeah.
the 360 copy. So
they have on Steam there's now a Valve Complete pack that very frequently goes on sale for less than $5, and it just has every game that Valve has ever released in it, other than stuff like
Alex.
yeah, it doesn't have Alex. It doesn't have the games that Ice Frog made. So like Dota 2, whatever else.
Aren't those free?
Yeah, those are free. But there's also like I think Underlords or something like that.
Oh, I know nothing about Dota.
Yeah. So it doesn't have that. It just
Other
has
than
like
it's a
their
MOBA.
classic. It has their classic Source and Source 2 games essentially
Yeah.
all in one, and it's a crazy good pack as well.
Wait, isn't there only like one game made in Source 2? Or am I wrong?
In Source 2? No.
Yeah.
Source 2 is Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 Episode 1 and 2.
I thought Source
Team
was
Fortress
Half-Life
2.
2. Gold Source was Half-Life 1.
Gold Source is Half-Life 1. Oh.
Yeah, Source is Half-Life 2.
I meant Source. I didn't mean Source 2. Source 2 is, like, I think Dota 2 uses it. Counter-Strike 2, Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah, so like none of those games, so none of the Source 2 games would be in that collection.
Yeah.
That's all I was getting at.
Yeah. That's... Sorry for the confusion. I always do that just because I'm like, Half-Life 2, Source 2. But no, that's not a
Oh
thing.
no, my weapons!
No, not the crowbar.
Oh, that's so mean.
Oh, but the gravity gun, it lives because it has a black hole or some shit inside of it.
It's painful seeing this because I know I got this gravity gun and seeing how much time is left. Because I never finished the game.
Yeah. You were quite literally at the end of the game, dude. Like, I don't know what you want me to
Dude,
say
that's
to
as
you.
bad as a buddy of mine at work who loves Sonic Adventure 2, but I showed him the real-time fan dub, and it got to the last story, and he was amazed because he had never seen any of it. He just never played the last story.
Bruh. Well, I have someone...
I don't know if he just never seen it or whatever. It's like that.
One of my cousins is like that. He's like, back in the day, he always told me he beat Sonic Adventure 2, and when I would look at his save file, he would only have beaten the hero side story. And I was like, no, you haven't beaten that game. You've beaten part of it.
Silly goose. I don't know.
Fuck you. Yeah, this is your end of the game power trip. It's tradition.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad it doesn't stay this strong for the episodes.
Yeah, then
'cause
you
I
would
feel
not
this would
use
just be
anything
too
else.
much. Yeah.
You would not use anything else. And
Short
keeping in
but
tradition,
memorable.
with the beginning of the game, you can still destroy the TVs that Breen is talking to you on. It's great.
Yeah. Doom Eternal actually does something a little similar to this. Slight spoilers. At one point, you get a sword called the Crucible.
Mm-hmm.
But it uses limited ammo, but it can just one-shot anything in the game. So when you first get it, you're in a room that is filled with nothing but ammo drops for it. So you can just use it to fight an entire horde of demons. And I love when
Nice.
games do like little power trips like that.
Yeah.
Or kind of like the even the Berserk power up in 2016. But none of those are like at the end of the game though. So like I don't know how much you want to count them on this, but
I mean, I'll count them. And anything that gives you like a really powerful weapon as a like a power trip kind of thing. In Half-Life Alyx, what happens is, so in that game, there's this massive vault that the Combine is storing the G-Man in, essentially, and because the G-Man let them capture him, essentially. It's using Vortigaunts to power the vault. And once you get into the vault, your weapons, I don't remember if they get taken away. I think they do, because you like float up into it, and then you have this really trippy sequence.
When did your suit get supercharged as well?
It's just there's those Combine energy recharge stations on the wall. They just charge you more.
They're just stronger. Okay.
Yeah, because they're for the elite soldiers. Yeah, but yeah, the vault in Alyx is powered by Vortigaunt energy, which we find out at the beginning of episode 1 that the Vortigaunts are actually resistant to the G-Man, which is why he's actually able to be imprisoned in Half-Life Alyx, because they're using a vault that's just abusing the Vortigaunt's energy source. But when you get to the end of the game there, the gravity gloves allow you to grab like Vortigaunt energy from the walls and shoot it out of your hands as if you are a Vortigaunt. It's so cool.
Oh, yeah?
It's so cool.
Do the episodes get anything like this? I guess they don't actually say, since we'll be getting to them soon enough.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think really they do. You start episode 1, I believe, with this gun, but it gets nerfed after a bit. But then after that, no, you don't really have anything like that.
Probably for the best.
Yeah. It's kind of something that I wish the episodes would have done a little more, is new weapons for Gordon. But then it wouldn't really be a Half-Life 2 game anymore, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know. They were planning stuff for episode 3. The big gimmick for episode 3 was going to be this thing called the Weaponizer, which allowed you to play with various elements. But they weren't really big on the idea after it got developed for a while, so. But because of the fact that we kind of know that elemental shit will kind of be important in the new Half-Life game, maybe they're repurposing the idea for something.
It's Metroid Dread all over again.
It really is. I hope so, because like that, I've been obsessing over the released concept art for that game for so many years. And just the rumors around it, so. And that's why
I don't think there's been a canceled game I've really obsessed over. Normally, once I learn something's canceled, I just kind of stop looking into it as much.
Not me. I'm obsessed.
Yeah. I prefer looking at games that did release but heavily changed in development.
I mean, that's fun too.
Or didn't go as planned. But
that's my thing. I feel like I'm always a grass is always greener on the other side kind of guy, because I'm always like, well, what if Sonic Adventure released on the Sega Saturn, or what if we actually did get the original Half-Life 2 episode 3? How would that be like? You know, so I feel like I'm even gonna be like that even when they finally release a new Half-Life game.
Right.
But that's just.
Well, I think that's fun. I think it's fun to speculate.
Yeah.
I'm just more of this is what we got, and I'm gonna deal with it kind of person.
Yeah, I very much wish I was.
Maybe that's why I barely ever mod games. You know. Like, I could speculate all day. What if Sonic 06 was good, but it wasn't? You know?
Yeah. Dude, I think Sonic 06 is like unfinished state is what really got me obsessed with game development. Because
It kind of does. It really does.
yeah, because like me finding out like there was a video someone did when they found the supersonic transformation animation in the game files. And I was like, oh my god, you were gonna be able to turn into supersonic in this game?
Someone
like,
didn't read the manual.
I didn't. But
dude, that's like the first thing I did before I played the game. It's like, oh, so you can play Supersonic in it. And I beat the game and I'm like, so where's that rainbow gem, huh?
yeah. See, I don't read. I don't know if that's been obvious or not in this channel's history. But I don't
how
read.
do you learn such fun facts such as Eggman is apparently a feminist? Where else are you gonna learn that, you know?
It's true. That's why I'm a fraud.
Exactly. Fake fan.
So you like fighting Striders, I heard, right? How about with projectiles?
This looks awful.
I mean, I could just run at him, and I'd be doing much better, but my dumbass has to hide for cover, even though I have extra health. I'm just a weak gamer, I've found.
This is giving me heavy Portal vibes right now. This just room.
Oh, yeah. I love the fucking Citadel. I love the aesthetic of the Citadel. It's so cool.
I see they got their architectural ideas from Aperture.
Well, no. Because
No, they did, but...
Portal came out.
Shut up. I just wanted to make my joke, okay? God.
Portal came out 3 years after this.
Was that before or after episode 3? Or episode 2, my bad.
It was at the same time, because episode 2 and Portal released with the orange box.
Gotcha. Everything's before episode 3. Everything's before Half-Life 3.
No.
That would be like the, that's like the timeline of gaming. You had the Dark Ages before Half-Life.
And then
You got the weird time before Half-Life 2. You have the golden age of gaming after Half-Life 2. What will come in gaming after Half-Life 3?
you have to measure everything in before Dark Ages, after Half-Life 2. That's the only time frame that exists.
Fair enough.
Doom the Dark Ages.
Shut up! Stop! I'm trying not to talk about it.
Hey, so if you were wondering when we were recording, that game just came out. And it looks good. It looks real good.
So we have another sequence like this.
Yep.
Oh, that looks cool.
Yeah, you get to see a whole lot more of the wacky alien life that the Combine has appropriated, I guess is a good
still
word.
don't know what the Combine looked like.
No, I don't. I like to think that their true form has been lost to time, like their original form, and they are now just
Like they're
this,
giant AI.
Yeah, they're essentially just this big conglomerate of other species that they have appropriated and modified,
Borgs.
and yeah. Also, if I wasn't being lame, I'd be looking out the window, and yeah, you can see all of City 17. That's shit really cool. Is tall. Cinematic. This shit is tall. They slowed you down right at that window just to make sure you did get a look. Because you don't get to see it after this point. We're going to the top, baby.
I don't know if I made it to this elevator.
So you got the fucking power trip gun and you didn't make it through the power trip sequence.
I don't know. I probably had to go somewhere, and then I just never played Half-Life again.
I'll take him from here.
God damn it, Mossman.
Don't struggle.
It's the bitch.
Until you're where he wants you. I'm sorry, Gordon.
It is cool seeing like Combine elites not attacking you.
Do they automatically move you here?
Oh yeah, you're on the
Or you're
track
still
still.
in cage?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you're on a track, but you are like floating in a little cage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
Life's a cage.
What I've seen is also beyond words, Breen. Genocide.
I do like them like being in the middle of a conversation. You don't get to hear the whole thing. Cuz that's something a lot of games do, is that they feel the need to like bring you into the situation right when like all the important information is being talked about. But they do make an effort to make scenes a little bit more real feeling, despite it feeling like an action movie half the time.
Come straight up to my office, I wouldn't have bothered hunting you in the first place. Having both
But
of you in my keeping,
I remember when we were talking about
I care to make with
I don't remember if this was on camera or off camera, but we were talking about episode 3 and how you were like, well, they should have finished it because they had a storyline and it's kind of shitty to not finish that. And I agree to an extent, but it's also like most people ignore the story in Half-Life.
rabble in the streets.
And I enjoy the story of Half-Life, but
Refuses to speak
it's
words that would
not
save them
the
all.
most important thing to me for these games.
It is to me because, at least for me, the gameplay is what drives me away from Half-Life.
But you're also the guy who like gets bored during the cutscenes, and you don't pay attention to the story.
Let her go.
Well, that's mainly on replays. Because
Yeah,
I've
I
seen
guess.
this all already, so that's why I get more bored.
But yeah,
by
that's
it.
what I'm saying though. The
It's
the
like
story,
I know the sequences.
the story of
It's
a
not a
Half-Life,
replayable game.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The story of a Half-Life game is it is important. I'm not saying it's not important. I'm just saying it's less important because I don't necessarily care to listen to it more than once, you know. Like I play through Half-Life 2 a lot from start to finish. I just like to replay this game a whole lot.
Yeah, this is the type of single player game that's kind of like The Last of Us. I haven't actually played that, so this may be a poor example where
And this one
you get a lot of bang for your buck, but you're probably only going to play it once.
control him.
Don't listen to him, Gordon.
How about it?
So it's kind of the antithesis to a lot of games I've been playing lately, which are highly replayable. Or something like Final Fantasy, which is just absurdly long.
Right.
So once you get to the end of that journey, well, now you just had a really long time with it. So now you don't want to play it again.
Yeah. Also, I want to bring up that's one of my favorite story beats in Half-Life is Breen trying to
Stopping you.
like bribe Gordon essentially, because he is actually, since he's like with the Combine, he's actually aware of the G-Man and that Gordon is quote unquote employed by him.
Sorry, Wallace.
And he has the line of like he's ignoring Alex and he says, but this one, he's proven to be a good pawn for those who control him. You know. So it's pretty much all the story stuff in relation to the G-Man is the most interesting thing to me, because you find out that Eli also had contact with the G-Man. You find out that the G-Man is interested in Alex as a potential employee. You know, like it's just all very, very interesting.
Dr. Mossman,
He's also the one that nuked Black Mesa in opposing force.
Yeah,
saying goodbye.
that's kind of what I like about Half-Life story is it feels rather basic on the surface when you go from plat beat to plat beat. But you kind of look at the overall stuff and the mysteries and kind of what it all means. I think that's where it gets more
I know
interesting.
you didn't have to do this.
Yeah, because like to these characters, to like the rebellion and everything, Gordon is their fucking messiah, their savior figure.
Yeah, this is everything, but
Yeah.
to the player, this is just another game. And to G-Man, this is just another situation he kind of needs you in, so he's just going to take
Yeah.
you out as soon as it's done.
It's just
You
another
don't get to
situation.
form those connections.
Like Gordon might be doing good in the eyes of the rebellion, but behind the scenes, he's actually probably, at least while he's employed by the G-Man, he's actually probably fucking shit up a lot of the time. Because, you know, he has interests beyond what humanity wants. He doesn't necessarily really care about humanity outside of the fact that they could be useful for his purposes, you know.
And in a sense, I do get the ideas of episodes 1 and 2 where they kind of, in a way, it's kind of they like take control of their lives away from the developers. You know, if you go with the G-Man is Valve theory and that kind of thing, which I do like to a certain extent. The only problem I have with it is how it does with Half-Life 1. But I guess if you look at it all as one big story, I guess it feels a little better. I don't know.
Yeah. And G-Man isn't necessarily he's not necessarily Valve. He's working for Valve. Because they're his employers.
Right.
But yeah, it's effectively the same thing.
Yeah, I won't go into too much detail because I'll make you play it one day. But Nier Automata plays around with this kind of story.
Yeah.
To a really, really effective degree.
You know,
as well as Replicate, mainly in the remake.
Yeah. Now that I'm actually thinking of the G-Man is Valve theory, it's kind of telling. It kind of fits that in episode 1 and 2, the G-Man kind of loses control of Gordon for a bit there. In the same way that, like, after a while of doing the episodes, Valve just kind of didn't want to really do it anymore, but they felt obligated to. So it's kind of interesting to think about.
Shoot, I had a thought. Oh, right. What I wonder if they were going for with it is, like, when the Combine, or I guess when Valve's in control, things feel like an adventure.
Yeah.
Like, there are stakes, but you never really feel them. It's like, you know, Alex is going to be fine, you know, Eli's going to be fine. But, like, it seems as soon as you break out of control, then things start going off the wall. And I think you see that in a very interesting way when Eli gets killed at the end of episode 2. And it's kind of also poetic in that sense, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's like, now that you're resisting the developers, the gloves are off, we're going to ruin your lives. You're going to have to really fight for that freedom.
Yeah.
I'm going into all of this, and I've never actually played episodes 1 and 2, so I could be talking out. I am 100% talking out of my ass, but at least just from the way you've been describing it and how I hear other people talk about it,
yeah,
that's kind of like what I can glean from it, which is all interesting. I like it all. I think it's cool. But, you know, I've already discussed my problems with Half-Life.
I would really... I know you're probably not going to, but I would really like if you played episode 1 and 2 before we got to them. I'm not going to make you or anything, but... I
could try.
It would also be interesting just to see your first time reaction to it here on the channel. So, but like, I think episode 1 and 2, especially episode 2, are like the peak of Half-Life gameplay, and I really think you would like episode 2 quite a bit. Even though it's still, you know, it's still very much Half-Life 2. But it's definitely got a lot higher focus on that fun gameplay experience. On top of just being better in every other regard, you know. So, but, yeah, I'm not gonna make you do that. I know you'd probably want to, finish Half-Life 2 before doing the episodes.
Nah, this is close enough.
Yeah. Because, yeah, you were literally right fucking here. You may as well have finished it.
If I ever play Spider-Man, I plan to skip the first game and go straight to Morales in 2. So
I should have done that with Doom. No, that's not good. Yeah, this is a spot where you're like, oh shit, there are fucking 2 helicopters after your ass, but you don't need to contend with them at all. You just have to destroy the Combine's portal home.
yeah.
And then the game ends. It's kind of anticlimactic, but also kind of not. It's like a really cool moment. You just kind of, after playing the first game, you kind of expect a boss or something. But we've already talked about there not being bosses in this game.
And that's okay.
So,
That's good. That's good.
yeah.
They don't need bosses.
I would have liked
I
to
don't know.
see them, but you know,
This is like the ultimate FU of reminding the player that, hey, we're still in control. We tell
Yeah.
you what you're going to do.
yeah, it's
With the episodes, you know, continuing on with that and having you get control, I think it's really cool. But I will still argue that if they were going to do something like that, they should have just saved it for like a whole third game,
yeah,
where you jump around in time once more and then more integrated into the plot that you want to break control.
Yeah.
Because you're just tired of it.
honestly, yeah.
And make this into more of a tragedy.
I
that-
think. Sorry, I keep interrupting you. You can keep going.
No, you can go.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I love episode 1 and 2, especially episode 2, and I love Half-Life Alyx. But genuinely, I think if they didn't do the episodic thing, we would have already had Half-Life 3 long ago. You know, and that's the ironic part, is that they were trying to avoid the quote-unquote long development cycle between Half-Life 1 and 2, which was 6 years.
To be fair, this was right around the time where that development cycle was just starting to get hit by games. And even
Yeah.
now, a lot of game developers still try to cut down by half to 3 years.
Yeah. But, like,
So,
just if the sheer amount of time it's been since episode 2, if they didn't do the episodes, or not even counting the episodes, so the sheer amount of time it's been since episode 1 or Half-Life 2, the original game, they would have released Half-Life 3 by now. We might even have Half-Life 4 by now. You know, if they, because like they made Portal 2, and during that whole time they were working on episode 3, and then they just gave up. If they had never made episode 1 and 2, I don't think they would have given up. I think they would have made a full fucking new Half-Life
I don't know if
game.
his name passed yet, but I'm looking for Dario Casali.
It's all alphabetical order by last name. So,
Damn it.
Yeah.
He was a Doom. He got started in the Doom map community with
that's
Team
awesome.
TNT. Which TNT, they were working on a map pack called Evolution, and they got hired by Valve because they were really well-known group of map creators to make a official Doom expansion.
yeah.
So they released Evolution as the first expansion, which a lot of people didn't like at the time because they was supposed to be free, but now you have to pay for it. I
Yeah.
think the team went through and made another one as kind of we're sorry about that. But I think Dario Casali and Milo Casali stayed at id and then made Plutonia together,
Hell yeah.
which is the other half of Final Doom and that whole expansion pack. And
That-
Dario Casali, I think, still works at Valve. The other and Milo Casali worked for some meh games, but they are both still in the industry.
I was gonna say that's like my favorite thing of Golden Age Valve, is that they would just hire like talented modders and like fan game devs and like stuff like that all the time back in the day. But I remembered that they did the same thing once they released Half-Life Alyx. There were a ton of mods for that game, and one of them is called Half-Life Alyx Leviathan, I believe. And they hired that mod creator, and he is now working at Valve on some unnamed project. I wonder what it is. But yeah, man, we blinked and now Half-Life 2 is fucking over. God damn.
I kept the conversation going. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Final thoughts, I guess. Half-Life 2. One of, if not my personal favorite game of all time.
Hell yeah.
It's just so good. It's so nostalgic for me. It shows me what fucking games. It showed me at the time what games could be outside of my small circle of basically just Sonic and Mario and whatever else I was playing at the time. It really opened my eyes to the broader world of video games. I love the characters. I really enjoy the music, the world, the world building, the storyline. The guns are pretty fucking good, though not quite as good as Half-Life 1, in my opinion, for the most part. The enemies, I like them. I just wish there was a little more variety. But other than that, those are my two big criticisms of Half-Life 2. Other than that, I think Half-Life 2, if you like single-player FPSs, give it a try. You may as well play a Half-Life. Essentially, just play the whole series. you can't go wrong with Half-Life.
Except for Alex, because VR and price.
Yeah, but that game is also like far and away the best VR game that will ever release, probably. So,
It is, but accessibility, my guy.
I know. Just get you have a PC now. Just get. I'll let you borrow my Quest 3, and you can play it.
That is always an option. I would have the space to play it. I have a fairly open space in my room, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you got any last thoughts on the game before we close it out? We will be. I should say we will be doing the episodes very soon.
Obviously, I've been a little more negative throughout this, but I guess I'll end it by saying I have no ill will towards this game. It just simply does not suit my taste.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what I look for in games, and I can't really fault the game at all for that. It's more just kind of I need to get good issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good game. I agree with all of your sentiments. I would encourage anybody who hasn't to play it. And I really do hope they can make a sequel that can properly put to rest this franchise and satisfy people in the same way that this game did. It is a cultural milestone in gaming. It is a technological milestone in gaming. And it deserves all the praise it gets. It really does.
No. Well, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for coming to the Half-Life 2 playthrough. Please check us out. We got lots of other stuff going on. We got lots of other games. There will be more Half-Life in the future if you came for just this. We do live streams twice a week. We upload twice a week at least. It's good. So why don't you hit the subscribe button and check us out. And we will see you in the next playthrough. Have a good night.